Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead. We give you insights and perspectives you need to stay on top of this turbulent, fast-changing world, and also glimpses into the future. The President has talked about appointing a new commission, how to open up the American economy as we start to wind down the lockdowns at the end of this month. But we can't really do that without a resurgence of this disease, without massive new testing and putting in urgently a new testing infrastructure. I urge you to read an article by Dr. Ashish Jha, J-H-A. You can find it on Forbes.com. He's director of the Harvard Global Health Institute. You can find it under his name or mine, Steve Forbes. But he talks about the inadequate infrastructure we have in today. Instead of doing 150,000 tests today, he says we must be doing at least 500,000. And he outlines what needs to be done. Now let me read you a quote from Dr. Jha in that article. He says, "We're not doing nearly enough. Without adequate testing, we don't know how many are infected, where the virus is spreading, or where the hot spots are." And here's the critical sentence. "We're on a battlefield wearing blindfolds." In South Korea, where they had adequate testing, there were not the kind of lockdowns we experienced in this country. So as he says, and we all should urge, President Trump must make testing the number one priority. Now there is talk of a need for another package to help small businesses. But in the meantime, something can be done immediately, and that is to have federal regulators encourage small banks, community banks, that is, banks with assets under $10 billion, to practice what we call forbearance. That is, with their small, sound businesses, farmers' households, they would no longer collect interest on those loans, principal on those loans, not collect real estate taxes or insurance for 6 months. That would help these borrowers tremendously. And in the meantime, the Federal Reserve or the Federal Home Loan Bank can advance to these banks the money that they lost in this forbearance. That way, lenders get a break, but also they have money to be able to lend out to the community and help get this economy back on track. Now, this is not my idea. It comes from a fellow named Bill Isaac, who headed the FDIC in the 1980s, and he handled some very severe banking crisis. He and Howard Milstein wrote an article in American Banker. You can find it at americanbanker.com. And finally, hand sanitizers. There's a shortage of that stuff. And one reason why is there are 500 distilleries in this country ready to produce hand sanitizers, but there are 2 grades of alcohol. And the FDA has a problem with the kind of grade alcohol that distillers use. But no one else does. The World Health Organization says both are adequate. So FDA, get off of your hang-ups about alcohol and let American distilleries help deal with these hand sanitizers. I'm Steve Forbes. Look forward to talking to you soon again.